Welcome back, family. So today we'll be examining the case that is currently in trial against YNW Melly. We'll take a look at his crew, the allegations, and review how these things are even actually possible. So if you guys don't remember, YNW Melly was a guy that was on the verge of crossing over to the mainstream. He had done a collaboration with Kanye West, and immediately after, he got arrested and charged with double murder. This was even before the video that he had done with Kanye West came out. A lot of interesting facts here, and this one is going to be one for the books. Before we get going, I got to tell you, YNW has different meanings. Some would say it stands for Young Ninja World. Others would say it stands for Young New Wave. And Melly was actually on that wave before he came crashing down on him. So YNW Melly is a Florida-based rapper whose real name is Jamal Demons. Yes, you heard right, Demons. He is accused of gunning down his two group members, Anthony Williams, 21, aka YNW Sack Chaser, and Christopher Thomas Jr., 19, aka YNW Juvie. Another group member that you need to be familiar with is Cortland Henry, aka Bortland. On October 26, 2018, Bortland drove to a hospital approximately around 4:35 a.m. looking for medical assistance. His two homies, Sack Chaser and Juvie, were in his car, alleged victim of a drive-by shooting. The victim were actually deceased on arrival. Bortland told authorities that at some intersection, right after coming off the freeway, he was ambushed by a group of thugs who approached on his right side and began firing. So, naturally, police took statements from Bortland and went to the crime scene where this allegedly took place. They found no evidence of anything. There was no shell casing on the scene. There was no shards of glass from the windows being shot out. There was no one in the area that heard any gunshots whatsoever. So immediately that drew a red flag. How can this be? There's no evidence at all of any of this that Bortland is claiming. So what they did next was actually go to the music studio, which is where they were coming from, and got surveillance. And in the surveillance, they saw that it was not three men, but in fact, four men that had gotten into the vehicle that ultimately got shot up, and the fourth man being Melly. From that, what they did, the police that is, was retrieve their cell phone information, went into the tracking device, and put all four men in the vehicle all night long. In fact, they were able to map out their route, and police realized that they actually went into an area of the city that is vacant, and for whatever reason it gave them suspicion to go into that vacant area, where they found evidence of a shooting. There was shell casings on the floor, again, shards of glass, and suddenly a crime scene was developed in the area where they traced the car to, not in the area where Bortland had told them this incident took place. Another red flag. So next thing naturally is they begin to do forensics on the vehicle that was shot, and they brought in experts, and they were able to trace the path of the bullets, the trajectory of the bullets, and it was found that the shots that actually killed Sack Chaser and Juvie were fired from within the car. Because they had burn marks on them, it was evident that the shots came from close range, not from anything outside the car. Not only that, they also found a shell casing in the car that matched the shell casing they found in the deserted vacant area. That's a lot of circumstantial evidence, yes. To me, from what I see here, it certainly looks like Melly may be guilty here, but I can't say that with 100% certainty. These things are all circumstantial. They really couldn't come up with a viable explanation as to why Melly would have done such a thing. These guys were his group members, his best friends, people that he knew from playground days. And he even has their name tattooed on his face.
So what you got tattooed on your face? Tell me about it a little bit.
What? On my face?
Yeah. We got the heart on this side. All right. What's that say above your eyebrow on that side?
Which side?
Oh, either one. What's it?
No, I got a Sack Chaser right here. That's my brother and my twin.
Okay.
I got Juvie.
Juvie?
Yeah, brother.
Just a lot of your friends who passed?
Yeah. Nah, them my niggas right there.
Oh, okay.
My brothers right there.
My bad. I wouldn't get none of my friends tattooed on my face until they died.
Yeah,
I'm not a good friend like you are, apparently.
As fate would have it, Melly's breakout song, the song that put him in the forefront, is titled Murder on My Mind. And he goes on to describe shooting his friend and watching his friend die in his arms. The irony here is just amazing. This same song, Murder on My Mind, got Melly thrown back into jail at the time he originally released it, because he was on probation at the time, and the lyrics was so graphic that his parole board decided to lock him up. I don't know if I agree with these types of things when authorities are using artists' lyrics and coming to the conclusion that these things are factual. You have to allow an artist a little bit of creative space to do whatever it is they want. In this case, though, it looks like it was art imitating reality. So, when examining for possible motives here, there was nothing that could be found with Melly and Juvie, but there was a little slight back and forth with Melly's mom and Sack Chaser.
Don't ever try to come for me, because I don't even play them type of games. Like, what the fuck you got that I ain't got? Oh, you threaten me with your little gun? Bitch, I got big guns.
Was this enough for Melly to do what he's being accused of? I don't think so. But keep in mind that Melly has admitted to having multiple characteristics or multiple personalities within himself. His own debut album is called Melly vs. Melvin, with Melvin being the more sinister of the two. He also have admitted to having bipolar disorder. So, can all these things have been a factor here? Who knows? We'll never know. The street knows. As a matter of fact, the street always solves the case way before police ever do. They probably know everything already. But if you're not in and around that area, you're not privy to that information. In reference to street activity, I must also point out that Bartland's father was recently shot and killed. Was this an act of revenge, retaliation for the deaths of Sack Chaser and Juvie? Who knows? Street justice is just that, and if you're not involved, you don't need to know. Also, another thing I needed to point out that I left out before is the fact that during the tracking of these men's devices, it was determined that all four men were in the vehicle for a length of time until just about 4:32, where Melvin was cited to have exited the vehicle. Bortland driving onto the hospital, arriving there at 4:35. These devices, boy, if you're gonna get into criminal activities, what do you think? Keep in mind that I didn't give you everything associated with this case. I gave you the bulk of it, the main gist of it. I also have to point out that prosecutors are actually going for the death penalty on this. In my opinion, there's not enough hard evidence to do such a thing. But this is Florida, and we know how they get down. I'm also interested in hearing what the defense is going to be for this, because the evidence pointed against Melly is humongous. So what do you guys think? Is it a slam dunk case? Or does the fact of non-physical evidence going to stop the prosecutors from winning their case? I really can't tell you. But if you think that Melly deserves to be free, let me know in the comments. If you think he's guilty as charged, let me know that also. This is very interesting to me, but we'll see how it plays out. The trial is currently underway. Again, this is day 5, I believe day 6. I'll update you shortly, and thank you for tuning in. Catch you on the next one.